All right, we are live. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. My name is Krissi. I'm with Positively Osceola, and it is so nice that you're here today. This is really fun. I love doing these Daybreak Live episodes. This one specifically is all about the arts and what's going on in and around St. Cloud. So we are going to be discussing what's going on as far as shows in Theater in the Cloud. And I'm so excited. We have two very special guests with us today, and they're going to talk all about what it is, the passion behind it, kind of how everything started, a little bit about themselves, and just share it with you and invite you to come see it. So this is actually a really good story coming from a very dark background, I guess. So if you've never seen or heard It's a Wonderful Life, you definitely need to, because everyone, no matter who you are, what age you are, you can relate to it in some way. And so this is going to be an amazing interview. If you are watching live, do me a favor, pop it in the comments and just say good morning. Say, hey, Krissi, what's going on? Let me know if you have plans to see It's a Wonderful Life, or and we'll give you information if you have no idea what we're talking about. We're going to definitely give you some information today. So let's make it official. Let's play this video if I can find it, and then we will get going. Okay. That means it's time to get into it. So let's say hi to our special guest today. Wait, are you laughing at me?
A little bit. Yeah, that was great.
You don't like my dance moves?
That was a great move. Yeah.
Come on. When you have your own theme song, you have to get into it.
No,
you know
yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, okay, everyone. So again, welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. Like I said, my name's Krissi with Positively Osceola, because it says right there. And then we have some very exciting people to meet. So first, we have Josh, and then we also have Jay, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we'll get into what they're sharing today. So Josh, take it away. Tell us who you are.
So my name is Joshua Stenkamp. I'm the artistic director for Theater in the Cloud. I also run an entertainment business in St. Cloud. I am a native of St. Cloud, Florida, and I was a magician for a really long time. I went to the Osceola County School for the Performing Arts right when it opened and graduated in 07. Went to college for a little while and hopped around the magic circuit. And when I moved back down to St. Cloud during the pandemic, my friend Mark Williams and I decided to create the theater. And what a better way to spend your time doing nothing during the pandemic is to create a nonprofit theater, you know?
It's really the best time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jay, your turn.
I'm Jay Wethington. I'm the marketing director of Theater in the Cloud. And I'm not a native to St. Cloud, but I was saying earlier, I keep showing up here. This is like my fourth time living in St. Cloud. I came here originally to work on a book project with Josh, and have fallen in love with this place. It's just so beautiful. And when the pandemic happened, I had just moved back to Florida from Portland, Oregon, like the week before everything shut down. And it was exactly like he said, I've been traveling around. So it took this pandemic thing to sit me down for a second to really think about this idea that we've been kicking around for like almost a decade. And to see it become real is super cool. So, and was a magician as well. That's how we initially met. Yeah. I was a professional magician, still am, but took what I was doing in magic, moved that into working with entrepreneurs and small business owners, helping them understand who they want to talk to and create experiences that are memorable around those conversations.
Dang.
Which is the theater. Essentially.
Oh, for sure.
It's all the theater. It's all
right?
the theater.
It's cool because I've never read theater books or got into any of that stuff. But when I started reading it, I was like, oh man, this is language. This is humanity. This is what all of the other books are. Like, you pick up a business book on building, a better customer, and it's theater stuff. It's really cool.
It's interesting how you can connect the two and that they're very similar.
Yeah. I have a lot of varied interests, so I read from a lot of different places, and you'll start to see similarities in the way that they're trying to convey information.
Absolutely. No, I
Yeah.
think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the show that you're sharing with us. So I'm going to bring up this graphic and hopefully everyone will be able to see it. I'll make it bigger. So tell us a little bit about the show.
So we're doing It's a Wonderful Life, which is that famous Frank Capra film. And what's great about this is it's actually an adaptation. It's still the same story, but what it is a live radio play. And we used to get a bunch of questions of how do you go see a live radio play? Well, what it is when you walk into our theater, it's going to look like a 1940s radio station. So when you walk in, it's going to look like the radio station is doing a live performance for people while they broadcast it from coast to coast. And we have what, 7 actors, 8 actors? I can't even think right now. 6 actors, and they all play different characters. So we have Darren Wright, he plays our George Bailey. We have Karina Martinez, who plays Mary Hatch, and then we have Katz, myself, and Mark and Rocco. We all play different characters. So I think I play 7 different characters throughout the show. So you're consistently putting on, metaphorically, different hats, different voices, and just going through this amazing story of how George Bailey wants to leave the town, but things keep getting in his way and the trials of man. And people would consider Jimmy Stewart, when this movie came out, the everyman. And George Bailey is the everyman because everybody, doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, doesn't matter if you're a child, you'll understand that things happen in your life and you kind of have to go, oh, all right, I guess I'll do that. And then realize, well, why can't I do this? And then you realize that there's family around you, that even though you're stuck, you're still making a better sense in the community.
Yeah, it really is. And you had mentioned earlier, it is kind of a dark film in a sense, right? It's like the beginning of George's life. He's got all of this ambition. He's a genuinely good person, and he genuinely wants to help the people in his community, right? He's just that person. And then it seems as if life keeps hammering him down.
Right.
To the point of, and this is one of the things that we've talked about before amongst us, is it's one of the first films to deal with the issue of suicide, and it may be the first, and to then show the importance of your life,
the life community,
the community, what you're creating around you, and it's like the perfect show for here. It's a really beautiful, and the cast is great. We've got a sound effects Foley artist that's going to be doing live sound effects, playing this table of amazing machinery,
glass
to create
breaking, doors opening,
ice breaking, all of these things.
We have a great violinist that'll be playing throughout the show and before the show.
Yeah, so we brought in some live music, which we've been dreaming about, and so it's going to be a really, really beautiful show. And we open the same night as the tree lighting ceremony in front of City Hall, and we're right across the street at the VFW hall. We've partnered with the VFW. They have a beautiful banquet hall that they've just renovated the inside, and they're preparing to do the outside. And we transform that entire space into our theater. So
that's really so cool. Okay, so let me understand this. So you are doing a live production, and it's a radio show.
We're not actually broadcasting.
Okay. So that's the fourth wall.
Yeah, so we have that suspension of disbelief that yes, it's like we're doing that. So
it's a play in a play.
It's a play within a play, exactly.
Remember, you have to remember that people like your audience might not understand that. So I am glad I asked, but now I get it.
I hope that they think that we are broadcasting from live to show, but I hope no one's sitting at home going through their radio going, I can't find it.
No, yeah, exactly. And isn't that the magic behind it?
It is the magic of theater.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bodies a part of this, and they're all playing different people, which is awesome. I mean, that takes some talent. That's amazing. And the live music, what? How fun is that? How did you find these people?
Well, we did our open auditions for all the actors, and then was really wanting, because it in the actual script it says, oh, you can go to this website, you can download music that fits the show. But I'm like, in the live radio plays, they always had either a full band or a quartet. So it's kind of last minute. I was like, I need a violinist, because I'm thinking I don't want a piano player, because then we have to find an old piano. And Hunter responded, I think his mom responded actually, saying, oh, well, yeah, I think my son would be interested in this. And he showed up, and I'm like, what do you need? I'm like, I'll play all Lang Syne, learn that, and just fiddle around. And he came in, he played 2 songs. I'm like, you're hired, you're great. This is, and it adds such a level to the show, because he'll be rehearsing and we'll have the door open. I can hear him down the road just practicing. So it's really nice when you're walking to the theater and you can hear him playing inside. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it adds a whole nother level to the production, which is super cool. And it's interesting to see them playing between themselves,
because we interact with them a couple of times.
Yeah, so they break,
we break the fourth wall.
actors interacting with one another outside of the play. It's kind of, it's very, very interesting.
Oh, I appreciate stuff like that.
And then the characters that each of the actors play, it's been like, I sit in the back and I take photographs and stuff like that for our social media and for marketing and all of that stuff. And it's interesting to hear them develop these voices and try different things and just sort of work the whole show out. It's a really cool experience.
Because I even have to have a conversation with myself between 2 actors, so I'm consistently going back and then bringing up a cigar, and it gets a little chaotic. And it's supposed to be, the show is supposed to be a little chaos because of George Bailey's trials in life. So I'd have to consistently tell the actors, I'm like, just keep building. It's got to build all the way up until it explodes. So it's this is definitely a different show from our last 2.
Yeah, and that's how, and another way that we found them is a couple of the actors, the players in this show, are from previous productions that we did. We started at the beginning of the year, sort of formed the company January 1st, did our first show in April. And the idea has always been like, we want to be an opportunity for artists to connect with audiences, right? We just want to be able to create opportunities. As performers, as a professional entertainer, your job is to basically be on the phone all the time, calling people going, hey, can I work? Hey, can I work? Do you have an event? And now we're in a position where we can create the opportunities for the performers, and we're the ones going, hey, can you work? Can you come out and play with us?
Wow.
So it's really cool to create. We're like creating a garden, and we're planting these little seeds in our garden and letting it grow. And we're planning on doing workshops next year and summer camps. And so we'll be able to grow and cultivate more actors and more performers and just really inspire people into the arts and to play.
And all of our shows are open audition. So we always post, like, doesn't matter if you're an actor or, from ages 14 to 99, if you want to come audition, we want everyone to come in, because we've had a few actors that have never been on stage in their entire life. And then by the time they get on stage, it just blows you away on how talented, how much raw talent is out there.
Our last show, there was a lady who had been on her list of things to do. Her bucket list was to be on stage and act in theater. And she came out and crushed it. Like, she had a line in the show that absolutely brought the house down every single night, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
And she was pretty much just lying dead on the stage.
Yeah, she's she played a dead person,
and she didn't move, and she's just talking. And it was. And all the actors were always, with this show, we're not backstage, but normally when the actors are backstage, we're all sitting there going, "Oh, is the laugh going to happen? Is it going to happen?" And when it does happen, you can just, you can kind of hear in the background all of us going, "Yes, it worked. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great."
And we're community theater, right? We're a community theater, and community theater generally has sort of this veneer about it that's like, oh, it's it's just community theater, and it's people that are volunteering, and it's not taken very seriously, and they're train wrecks, and that's where the beauty in them lies, right? This community theater is something different. The level that Josh and our partner Mark, who also works nights, that's why he's not here this morning, but one of the things that they do is they hold people, and because we've all been professionals at this, we kind of come in with a very high level and we bring people up. We're like raising the waters for people to come into the theater, and it's surprisingly good for community theater. One of the best uh, compliments that we've received was from our last show. A gentleman who's traveled around and seen a lot of theater, a lot of community theater. He was like, I was ready to walk out in 10 minutes. And he's like, I'm not ashamed to tell you that. I was ready to walk out in 10 minutes, and an hour and 10 minutes flew by. And I didn't even realize that I was here that long. It was really, really, really good work that they're producing in this theater. It's amazing.
People think St. Cloud, they don't think that there's artistic expression out there. And yeah, Mark and I, we try to choose shows, and we also teach while we're there. You know, we try to give as much a higher level to community theater that we possibly can, because I do hate that stigma of, oh, it's just, I used to be that way. Oh, community theater. Oh, you know, I want to go see the good stuff. But
and that's why all of those conversations were important, to like sort of work out this idea, and then to be able to step onto stage in April of this past, spring, and to watch these guys lead a cast, to a very successful production, 2-week run.
Especially opening a theater and doing an absurdist play like that.
In St. Cloud, Florida.
Who opens up doing,
who would do that?
some random show that crazy.
Yeah. So it's been really, really cool to watch, and the community has been just wonderful. We've got, the city has been super helpful for us. We'll be hosting the New Year's Eve celebration in downtown St. Cloud. Josh and I will be rotating between the stages and, bringing on acts and sort of helping people flow to different places and things like that. So we're getting really involved in the community, and this is just a beautiful place.
Yay, that's so cool. I really appreciate the fact that you're bringing the arts into the community, which Osceola Arts has been around for a long time, but to do this in the middle of a pandemic is a challenge in and of itself. And then now you're also inspiring these people who have never done this before to have a creative outlet. And I think that's wonderful. So let's talk about the people that are behind the scenes. Let's talk about your creative team. And Jay, we talked about your background a little bit. Let's talk about the others.
Oh, look at that.
Look at those three.
Look at those handsome guys. So Mark Williams is our theater director. And it's funny, when we're putting this together, I mean, we were trying to think, what kind of names can we give each other? But we pretty much do everything. So Mark Williams is our theater director. He also graduated from the Osceola County School of the Arts. He couldn't be here today, but he also performed at Artsake Theater. He did a good stint there, which is located in Winter Park. And Mark really helps with the directing. So Mark is in this show. I'm directing this show. And the last two shows we did, we directed together kind of as a co-director sense, not assistant. It was just co-directing. And Mark brings a lot. I mean, everybody adds something different. So Mark really comes from like a Stanislavskian Meisner acting base.
Cool.
And he brings that a lot, because I'm more of a Grotowski physical commedia dell'arte mime type of ideal. And yeah, so that's Mark. I mean, I can't really. Mark, he's better at talking about himself than I am.
Yeah, he's a very creative individual. He loves to write. He wrote. We did a video production, which we're kind of getting involved in a little bit, is doing some video story work, and we did a Call of Cthulhu from H.P. Lovecraft, and we went over to the Mount Peace Cemetery and shot with like a fire dancer, and he came up with he was a creative force kind of behind that. And he sort of helps with everything inside of the theater, like, down to the details of like making sure seats don't have rips in them, and the stage is swept and things look nice, and the experience of people coming in. So he's sort of in charge of all of that, plus
he'll be directing our next
teaching
show.
Plus directing, and he's going to be one of the individuals leading some of the workshops and the summer camps as well. So he's definitely a teacher at heart. He loves to teach.
It sounds like you all wear very many hats. So good for
That's the beauty of being in a small company.
Right.
You switch hats, and
We're
you know, you
hoping
have
in the
to do
future we
everything.
only have one hat, you know?
Yeah, that's sort of the idea. But we
Right.
also were very, like I said, like the way that Josh and I met was through magic. And when I came to St. Cloud, it was for a book project that Josh wanted to work on. We love like getting our hands in on creative projects and creating, and we work really well together. And yeah, it's a cool creative outlet, and we want to do this. Like one of the things we always talk about is like the long-term goals, and our 5-year plan right now is to have a building in downtown St. Cloud that's our own space that we live in and is the theater and is part of the renaissance, if you want, of what St. Cloud is doing as a whole right now. Like we've grown. When I was here 7 years ago, there were maybe 15,000 people in the city proper. And now the extended city is almost 60,000 people and still growing.
Right.
Florida is bringing in, we brought in almost 500,000 people last year into the state. So it's growing, and there's all of these people. And the thing that they're sort of coming to Florida for, and what we're kind of grateful, is that we're open and that we're able to move around and do things and get together and have these experiences that people so desperately are looking for. Like
Yes.
we are a community species. So
Yes. And I appreciate the fact that you're doing it in such an intimate space where you can be close up with the actors, and you can experience, that right there in your face.
That's one of the things that I wanted for the theater is I mean, I would love to have a giant proscenium with a fly system because you can do so much, but intimate theater, if the actor can spit on you when he's doing Shakespeare, I'm like, that's perfect, because you feel close to it. You
Right.
don't feel so far removed. You can still get the picture frame, but I've always liked to have 100 to 125 seat theater. To me, that's intimate.
Beautiful.
If you get any larger than that, then you get kind of pushed back a little too much.
And as magicians, we like the idea of immersive experiences, right? We want to create mystery. And the best way to do that is to create an experience for a person that they don't even realize that the mystery has started yet. So to bring them into our world and create these stories it's just really cool. And to get to watch people experience it for the first time, a lot of times this will be people's first introduction to sitting down and watching a theatrical show. Like to see their experience with it is really, really cool.
Yeah, we like to be very immersive in the theater.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not the only one who thinks this is awesome. We have Tamara. She's saying that it's great to see this happening in our city. And yes, I agree. The fact that this is local, the fact that this is in our hometown, I mean, this is wonderful. Where can people go if they want to have more information or just learn more about y'all?
The website is going to be the best place to go. So it would be www.theaterinthecloud, which I believe is on the scroller at the bottom. And there you'll be able to find all the information. You'll see our mission statement. And at the top bar, you'll see some drop-down menus. If you go to tickets, that always shows right there. You can buy our tickets through Eventbrite that has the link. You can buy it right there on our website. If you also scroll down, it'll have our 2022 season. So mostly it's going to be the website, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all at Theater in the Cloud. And we post regularly on our social media.
And Theater in the Cloud is theater with an
R-E. So it's the English spelling on that.
It's the English.
Theatra.
Which is the idea of it. It's not the place. The ER, I learned this is something I learned recently. The RE is the idea of the theater, and the ER spelling is the place.
It's the location.
It's the actual physical theater, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Those crazy people.
All right. So one final question. And let me fix this so we can see both of you. There we go. Okay. So my last question is, if there's one thing that you would love for audiences to take away after seeing the show, or a feeling, or just an idea, what is that hope for y'all?
From this specific show?
Yeah.
The sense of community. That's really what it is that I really want people to walk away, go, it doesn't matter how bad things get or how good things are, you're surrounded by people who care. And that's really what happens with George Bailey, is that he realizes that he doesn't have to leave to fulfill his dreams, that everything he needs is right there in the town, and that the town has got his back. And that's one thing we want, is to bring the community together for the holidays.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the beautiful things about St. Cloud, when I first came here, one of the things I heard from everybody was about celebrating the small town life, and how amazing it is to live in a small town. And having lived in a lot of very big towns, very large cities around the world, like sm- being in a small town and that community, and how special it is to have this group of people who really do care and love and are invested in you and your well-being and the well-being of those around you, how special that really is. And so I think, yeah, coming out of the show, I would want them to feel like so much better about this place and what it has to offer everyone.
That's so cool. And you're bringing it all together with art and
Yeah.
local theater. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yay! I love it. Thank you so much today, y'all, for coming
Thank
on.
you.
And
Thank you.
It's really awesome
this is
meeting you.
great.
And
People are going to come out and see it, and they're going to freaking love it. So
yeah,
thank you for putting it together.
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you for supporting it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively, Osceola will always be there for people in the arts.
Beautiful.
All right, everyone. So that's going to wrap up our interview today. Remember, we do Daybreak Live episodes every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So come back next week and see who we are talking to, local personalities, local people, and businesses that are making a difference in our community. So thank you again, y'all. I'm going to play our video again, and then we'll say goodbye. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.